Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pepsiman 80% Tournament 2022. This is the second in a second annual 80% tournament that we've had so far. So the last one we had was last year during 2021, where I was actually a participant for the tournament, and I actually ended up coming out on top. And if you don't know who I am, well, my name is Mick Cooper. I'm the 80% world record holder for this game. I own the game on PS2. I ran the game on PS2, got the record with it, and it is still there to this very day. And unfortunately, because of an injury I sustained, I can't participate in this tournament. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be crazy this year. So just hang tight. We're still setting up the stream. Once both runners are ready to go in the race room, then we will go ahead and begin. Because this question in chat by Torsel, I think that's how you say your name, Torsel. What would 100% entail? 100% is getting every Pepsi can in every stage that has Pepsi cans in it, and as well as just beat the game normally. It doesn't mean you have to get every skin or every unlockable per se. Although I feel like that would be its own category, like all skins, which means that you got everything in the game. But currently, with what 100% demands of you is that you just get every Pepsi can. That's it. All skins would actually be a very interesting category for this game because it actually means that you play through the entire game. Although it means that I think you need to do at least a minimum of 2 whole playthroughs, which means that you need to do a 100, like current 100% playthrough, so you get every can in the game, and then you play through the game again during expert mode. Expert mode is a mode that unlocks after you beat every level's target time. Because every level in this game actually has a target time. Where, let's say, a minute 20 seconds for like the first level. Let's just go with that for a second. So if you beat stage 1-1 under a minute and 20, then that means that you've beaten that level's target time, which means that you're one step closer to unlocking expert mode. In expert mode, all it is the game, but you have one less hit point, and the time limit for every level is a lot shorter. Beating expert mode grants you a skin, the stealth skin, which, if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid, the stealth skin is basically just like a holographic, like, you know, see-through Pepsiman, which I think looks really cool for a PS1 skin, but during gameplay, it's a little bit hard to manage, I'd say. Yeah, it looks like they're both ready to start, so at any point, they just need to sync up and start up. Both players are in the room. Okay. Seems like they're readying up. Okay, Limo is being instructed as to what to do next because I believe this is the first time he's participated in a tournament like this. So we've got basically like a rookie in the tournament scene versus one of our friendly moderators, freaking Ghost Senpai or Un Fantasma Mas, who is our, you know, pretty much our organizer for this tournament. Is essentially a lot of the work that goes behind this tournament is actually organized by Fantasma. So uh, we need to take a second to just appreciate that without him, we wouldn't have this tournament right now because a lot of the organizing was done by him. And I believe, okay, all right, so they're both ready. All I gotta do is sync up. Okay, 10 seconds until they start. So here we go. The very first 2022 Pepsiman 80% tournament match featuring Fantasma versus Limosick. Let's get it, guys. And Ghost adjusting his webcam right before the race. And we're off. Now, keep in mind, my stream may be a little bit delayed, so my commentary is probably going to be very, very far behind. And I do apologize in advance for it. So currently they haven't started yet, and it's about 43 seconds into the race. Ah, yes. Okay. So here we go. So this is stage 1-1. This is a very basic stage. Now what you'll be noticing right away is that they're going to be trying to avoid grabbing any Pepsi cans. Although it seems like Ghost already grabbed a couple, so that's fine. What happens is, oh, Ghost already took a hit. That's not good. Nemo's already pretty far ahead now at this point. But it's only the first level. Anything can happen, and this is a very hard game. This is a very trial and error type game. And Nemo fell over on some fences. Awesome. So we might be seeing like an even match coming out of the first area of the game. Now, what I was trying to say before is that you notice him trying to avoid Pepsi cans. So in this game, at the end of every level, you'll actually be tallied for how many Pepsi cans you pick up during the stage. You want to avoid picking up any of them because the record for collecting Pepsi cans is always defaulted to 0, which means that if you don't collect a single Pepsi can, then the new record label will not pop up at all, which means that you save actually about 2.5 seconds. Just by not grabbing any Pepsi cans. And that's it. So Limo comes out on top this match, or this level, but like I said, we got a whole rest of the game ahead of us. We've got about 19 to 20 minutes left of a game, and anything can happen between that. Like, just because of the first level does not mean that we're, that we've seen everything. We haven't seen anything yet. Towards the middle of the run, we're going to be seeing something that hopefully one of them can pull off, which is pretty much like a required skip if you're trying to go for like sub 19, I believe, in this game. So this is stage 1-2. It's basically, the first stage. Oh no! Oh, Ghost. He tried to do a whole skip and he failed. You can just straight up run over that pit, but he tried to do that. It didn't exactly work out too well. Just gotta pick it up. And he gets hit with a jackhammer, dude. Alright, awesome. He's just gonna pick it up, keep going. That's all you can really do. If you get hit too much, you just have to... Just gotta pick it up, keep going, and just hope that you don't make too many mistakes. Meanwhile, Limo, he's just playing out of his mind right now. He's actually going really fast. Something you may also see from either of these players is actually when they do a dash jump, like, well, when they dash, you'll see them dash jumping. Dash jumping is actually a lot faster than just normal dashing, because you get to retain your speed a lot more. And also, apparently when you jump, you get, you know, propelled forward, like, slightly. Okay, Limo mashed the start button there. So when you skip cutscenes in this game, you have to make sure you're not mashing the start button, because for whatever reason, when you skip a cutscene, it just goes straight to the gameplay. So you can accidentally pause the game if you mash. So you basically have to time a start press. All right, so Fantasma, he's finally out of stage 1-2, which means that we're going to be seeing the chase section from old players. Limo is still a little bit further ahead than Ghost, although going into stage 2 can be the page turner, actually, for Ghost. So stage 2-1 is pretty substantially difficult than the first 2 levels, I'd say. So we're going to be seeing Limo immediately start off by going to the right side of the screen, because pretty much all the hazards in stage 2-1 appear from the right side going to the left side. So if you stick to the right side, you're pretty much never going to get hit by anything. And this barrel section is absolute torture if you've never played this. Oh, yep, right there. Oh, we didn't get a checkpoint. That's huge. That is ginormous. This game is pretty much even now. Yeah, Limo, he might pick up the checkpoint now because he missed it the first time. No, he still didn't get the checkpoint. Oh, that's ginormous. All right, so Limo, he's playing dangerous, but I like it. So it keeps the game even. So right now, Fantasma and Limo are both pretty much neck and neck right now because Limo died and didn't get a checkpoint. So Limo, unfortunate, but now the game's actually pretty close. Okay, Fantasma, he got hit immediately by either a pedestrian or a car. And Limo is going through this section super quickly. Oh, crap. I love it when people just speed through this section. And he gets hit. Bonk. That's my favorite part. When you either miss a dash or a slide and he just bonks. Alright, Fantasma and Limo. Limo's still ahead. And he gets ahead because he's a cracked gamer and he got through that part with like 0 issues other than the bonk. Fantasma's not far behind. He's actually just about to finish the stage. So all he's got to do is hold it together until the end of 2-1. A lot of slides. So jumping in this game retains your speed, whatever it may be. So if you have speed from either going down a slope or from dashing, oftentimes you'll see people like repeatedly jump just to keep whatever speed they have. All right, Limo starts off with a break dash at the start of 2-2 because for some reason the game starts you off at like 0 speed, and Pepsiman has to gradually accelerate to catch back up. But using the game's brake feature, it can actually get Pepsiman back up to speed like almost immediately. You know, just like in 1 frame, he's back up to speed. All right, Limo going down the slope. He actually didn't take advantage of the slope speed. He still didn't take advantage of the slope speed, going down like the fast slope. So it right after the first checkpoint. Oh no, Ghost! He just immediately dies at the start of 2-2. That's huge. So after the first checkpoint in this level, there's a slope that you can just kind of run down. And if you hold up on the D-pad at all during that, then you just go at normal speed. But if you let go of the D-pad, you'll be succumb to slope physics, which means that you're going to be going super fast. And if you mash jump at the end of the slope, you're going to be going mad fast for a long time. Like faster than dashing. That's how fast we're talking. Maybe Ghost can do that. Nope, Ghost doesn't do it either. Nemo's on a roll right now. He's already out of 2-2. Ghost still halfway through the stage. Now we're seeing Nemo do these second chase sections. So these chase sections cannot be sped up at all. The only thing you can really do is just not get hit by anything, which is pretty nice. Like, all you gotta do is memorize the stage layouts for the chase sections, so you don't have to worry about speeding up or slowing down. All you gotta worry about is if the layout, like what route you can take for these obstacles to not really be a huge hazard to you. Oh no! Oh, Ghost! Oh, Ghost! He might. Oh no! I thought he was gonna try and game over, but no, he's gonna stick it out. Now, keep in mind, Ghost right now is kind of walking a fine line between game overing and continuing. He's gonna go for an extra life. So if you collect 25 Pepsi cans, then he will get an extra life as soon as he finishes the stage, which is nice. But in a speedrun sense, you would actually want to avoid getting any cans, period. In a tournament sense, however, you'd probably want to get as many as you can, because extra lives means extra chances. And if you game over, you have to redo the entire stage. So what we're seeing right now is Limo. He is currently in stage 3-1. So this is the first level that has like a major skip in it. So we're going to be seeing like him clip through a truck. Actually, I don't know if he does truck skip. We'll see. Is he gonna do it? Oh no, he tried to do it. He tried to do it. He messed up the setup. So he's got to deal with the truck now. The truck loses, I think, about 15 to 20 seconds in this level. So if you don't get it, also like if you fail it, that's even more time. Like if you just don't do truck skip, it loses about 15. If you fail it, it's about 20. It is a huge, huge skip for this game. Unfortunate that Limo didn't get it, but he's still ahead, despite not doing it. Now, let's see if he gets this checkpoint, because this isn't... Okay, he's got the checkpoint. So if he missed that checkpoint and died at all later in the stage, then he goes all the way back before the truck, which is a huge time loss. Okay, Ghost immediately starts off by getting hit right at the start of 3-1. You'll love to see it. Pepsiman has very entertaining get hit animations for Pepsiman. Like, whether he's getting like knocked high in the air, he's just bonked his head on something, or he gets tripped. My favorite is when he trips, rolls and rolls into a pit and dies. Like, that's my favorite. It sucks to do in a speed run, but it's really funny otherwise. And Limo is out of 3-1 with really no issues at all. Ghost is still not even halfway through the stage, and he gets hit by a log. One good thing about truck skip is that you don't have to deal with RNG, because this section is RNG. I mean, like, there's only two options. It's either you gotta jump or slide under a log. But when you do truck skip, you don't have to deal with the truck at all, which means that you can just dash through this section. Like, pretty much no problem. So Limo, now he's in 3-2, and this is the first stage that you actually can't do canless. So, like, no matter how hard you try, you can't miss every Pepsi can, because there is a section where you're on a barrel, and you kind of have to collect cans, because they're kind of just placed in your path. Like, you can't really avoid them. So this is actually a good stage to stock up on lives. If you wanted to collect like 25 or 50, then it doesn't matter. I think in a tournament sense, 50 is a little bit too much, but if you really need lives, this is the level where you do it at, because it's not possible to even miss any cans here. Yeah, the barrel, when it crosses those planks, there's Pepsi cans just placed like on the planks, and there's just not enough space to avoid them. Unless there's like some weird out of bounds skip, but I kind of doubt that, because this game is actually very good about like clipping out of bounds. The only out of bounds clipping that I've seen or encountered myself is when Pepsiman spawns into a stage. Sometimes he like spawns super far up in the air and he'll just drop down. I don't know why, but like it doesn't affect gameplay at all. It's just a weird thing that happens sometimes. Okay, Limo is doing this mineshaft section super easily. Now, one bad thing about this mineshaft section is there's only one checkpoint in this mineshaft, which means if you die, you're going straight back to halfway through the stage, and it sucks. But thankfully, Limo held it together, and he got out of there with pretty much no issues. Like, the only issues he had were, like, prior to the mineshaft. So everything before the mineshaft, he did pretty well. He even got past the barrel section without getting hit, which is nice. Because when you die on the barrel, you just lose a life, and you gotta redo that section again. It's not very good at all, because you basically have to do a perfect run of the barrel section before, you know, getting out of there. And it's very easy to die in that barrel section. Very, very easy. So both Ghost and Limo get out of there with pretty much no problems. Now Ghost, he's still behind. However, oh, Ghost got jump glitch. Okay, so there's a thing in this game where if you try and jump at a certain frame during Pepsiman's dash animation, for some reason, Pepsiman just doesn't jump at all. Like, he'll attempt to jump, and then he just kind of stays on the ground while doing his jump animation. It's a little weird. And it can lead to, you know, wrongful deaths, because it's just not, like, it is an actual glitch. So Limo gets out of 3-2 pretty convincingly, I'd say. He had trouble at the start, but I will say it is very, very convincing from Limo. Ghost just now got out of 3-2, so he's a full stage behind at this point. But 4-1 and 4-2 are the levels that will equalize. Like, these are the equalizers right here. 4-1 can drop your inputs, and 4-2 is an extremely difficult level. Limo, though, he's been playing out of his mind, so I'm actually hoping that... Oh, takes a hit right away at the start of 4-1. It's not a huge deal. He gets slow roll going for the 4-1 truck skip. So this truck skip... Oh, no, he didn't even get the dash. Oh, that sucks. So he's losing some time here because he didn't get the truck skip. Yeah, these levels right here, these are the equalizers. I'm just saying that right now. These are the equalizers. Ghost, right now, he's still... I forgot to mention, but the 3-3 chase section is extremely easy. So if you die there, it's basically a skill issue. Although it looks like he's actually about to die. Oh no! Oh no! You can see him mashing out his controller. Oh no, Ghost. And Limo got hit from that truck. What? He was holding right on the D-pad. I forgot to mention, but in these trash can sections where Pepsiman has a trash bin on his head, the controls are actually reversed. So left goes right and right goes left. It's not like a huge deal when you get used to it. Ooh, he almost... Okay, he slid to avoid falling into the pit. That's a gamer move. So that's a thing in this game, right? Where if you slide, if you're just about to fall into a pit, like, if you're riding the fine line between a pit and solid ground, then the best thing to do is to slide, because sliding actually, like, clips you back up to the stage. So, good move on Limo. He kept this thing alive. And Ghost is just now finishing 3-3. So he's a full stage behind Limo right now. But 4-2 can equalize this, all right? That's not an exaggeration. That's just what happens. So we're just gonna see what Limo does in 4-2. This is the hardest level in the game, in my opinion. So we're gonna be seeing Limo try to stay grounded as much as possible on these conveyor belts, because these conveyor belts are super fast. And he gets the box slide super easily. He was practicing that before the run, and he got it just first try. What a Chad. Alright. So Ghost is in 4-1. He does not go for the truck skip, so he's gonna be losing a little bit of time here. And he gets hit at the end of it. Limo tries to dash underneath the sign, gets hit, and Limo's still keeping it up. Like, I'm surprised. Is the checkpoint good? Now, this pipe section in 4-2 is a little tricky. It's not like super hard, but it is a little tricky. And he gets the pipe jump. That's actually not, that's super hard, because the game will always give you a jump glitch here and there. And he gets bonked on one of the pipes. Easy pipes, but it's not a huge deal. There's a checkpoint right here coming up. Well, past this section right here with the floating boxes and stuff, this one sucks. So the strategy is mostly just like dash jump all over the place and hug the left side of the arena instead of the right side. The left side typically doesn't give you any trouble, but Limo is just out of there. He doesn't want any of this 4-2 stuff. He doesn't want any of that shenanigans, so he's out of here. And this part right here, this board section at the end of 4-2, good luck, because it is an instant kill if you get hit by anything. Although Limo, he's looking to close it. Oh no, he gets hit at the very end of that section. And that sucks. That's an instant kill. And that means he's all the way back at the start. Well, start of the board section. Now Limo, all he's got to do is hold it together. You can't choke. And he doesn't choke. He gets through it just fine. Second time a go. Now Ghost, he's still a stage behind. And the only thing that Limo could do to equalize this game is to just lose in the chase section. Now this is the hardest chase section in the game coming up. And let's just say that if you get here on a good pace, you'd be sweating, because, you know, you have to memorize the entire level. You know, all the hazards and stuff that pop up. You gotta memorize all those. Limo, though, I don't think this. Oh no, Ghost. Ghost dies at the end of 4-1. That might be it. Considering that Limo is still a full stage ahead, and even if he died here, I don't think it would matter very much. Okay, so Limo's looking to close this one out. Ghost still having trouble on these conveyor belts. Now, these conveyor belts are no joke. These will literally mess you up. If you don't get through them, like, you know, in a clean fashion, they will mess you up. Okay, Limo gets hit. Gets hit twice, actually. Oh, no. That's it. Limo dies at the end of the chase section. He was right at the end. He was right at the end. Oh no. Oh no, Limo. This could be even. I say could be, but will it be? That's the question. Because Ghost, he's looking to close this one out. He's about to be done with 4-2, but if Limo dies again at the end of 4-3, we might be seeing an even game here. Okay, Ghost is still struggling with the box section in 4-2. Now, this section is no joke. This section is extremely hard. Okay, he's slowing it out. And Limo closes it out. There we go. 22:04 for Limo. And Ghost is right behind him. He's actually just about to finish the board section in 4-2. All Ghost has to do is just hold it out, because he's not that far behind anymore. So good game to Limosick for finishing it out with a 22:06 for the very first match of the 80% 2022 tournament this year. That is huge. And this, so far, has been, it's been a good showcase. There haven't been a whole lot of good skips being shown off, but I feel the longer we go on in this tournament, the more skips we're going to be seeing from other players, because there are a lot of good players at this game. I'm not saying that these two aren't good. They are definitely very good. What I'm saying is we're going to be seeing some crazy stuff as the tournament progresses. So be sure to look forward to that as the tournament progresses, and we might be seeing some aftermatch commentary from both of these players. So once Ghost finishes, then we might be getting some aftermatch commentary. So just stay tuned for that. And Ghost, he's wanting to. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Both Ghost and Limo dying at the end of 4-3. That's huge. Okay, Ghost has finished with a 24:48. I'm looking at the race time GG, and it says that he's already been finished. So he's saying that the emulator he's using dropped his inputs at certain points, so that's why he looked like he was dying a lot. So that's understandable. Sometimes emulators drop inputs, just what they do, you know. Unless you play on a console. If you play on a console, then the console doesn't really drop your inputs outside of maybe 4-1. Alright. 24:42 for Ghost, matching a 22:04 from Limo. Good game to both these players, actually. Like, I was kind of surprised of what they were going for.
You got it! Yeah! Woo!
Now that's sick. That is extremely sick. Speaking of sick, we've got both Ghost and Limo in the setup channel right now, and they might be coming in here to do some after match commentary / banter / what have you. All right, here we have Limosick.
Hello.
Congratulations on your match win today. How do you feel?
Thank you. I was a little bit nervous because I didn't play Pepsiman like my last PB. I think it was like 6 months ago. I don't really remember, but I was a little bit scared at first. But then I can play, and I was like, okay, this is not that bad.
I mean, no, it wasn't that bad at all. I mean, you were doing some stuff that I didn't even think you were going to be doing. Like, you really surprised me, is what I'm saying. And the only thing, okay, so what I did see though is that you went for the 3-1 truck skip, and you missed it, which is unfortunate. But you didn't like lose composure after that. You just kept going. You know, it's like no big deal. You know, if you missed the skip, it's whatever. Which I do appreciate. Like you go for some skips, you miss them. It's no big deal. Just keep going. That's the attitude you gotta have when you have a tournament set like this. You can't just throw it away because you miss a big skip like that. It's either like you do it, you miss it, whatever. Just keep going. you know, and we saw that from you. And other than that, you're playing very solidly. Like you were going super fast. Now, I was saying at the entrance of stage 4-2, you were going extremely fast. Like I was sitting here like, whoa, you know, he's been practicing the box slide at the start of the stage. He kept failing it, and then in the tournament match, you know, in the run, he actually got it. Like that was insane.
Yeah, I was surprised too because I know how to do it, but I was like nervous and didn't think I was able to do it. And when I do it, I was like, oh my god, I actually did it.
It was a surprise. When I was seeing you practice it, you didn't get it a single time, but then in the run, you actually got it. So it's one of those moments where it's like super hype that you actually got it, and thankfully, now I will mention that like you had two huge deaths. You died at the end of 4-2 of the board section, which was I think it's about a 18-second time loss, give or take. So lost by 18 seconds at the end of 4-2. And then 4-3, man, I saw what was happening, and I can totally understand this, you know. But dying at the end of 4-3 is extremely, you know, that probably like eats away at you, because you're like, oh no, I shouldn't be dying to this. And you know, you lost about like a minute and a half because, you know, that stage is super long.
Yeah.
But thankfully you closed it out, you know, with a 22, which isn't bad for like a first 80% tournament, and your first run pretty much, you know, back to Pepsiman after, you know, 6 or so months. I know that if I were playing in this tournament, I would be very, very, you know, shaky, and I wouldn't be going for a lot of cool strats or whatever. I'd be finishing with like maybe a 21 or a 22, just like you. It's all about mentality. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, you had a lot of bad things happen, but as long as you keep it together and just finish the run, then you'll never know if you won or not. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the 4-3, I was like chill, but I forgot about that last Pepsi cans, and I was like, no. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's continue.
No.
Yeah, I was like, no. I was I was like, no. Okay, let's continue.
That's exactly what you need to be thinking too when you do that. I know that if you die at the end of any chase section, it's bad because you lose all that progress. You got to restart it. Thankfully though, neither you or Ghost game overed, which is nice because game overing is huge. Now Ghost, he was close to game overing, but he, you know, picked up more cans, got more lives. By the end of the run, he had about like 4 lives, I think, 4 or 3, and he was down to his last life in, I think, 2-2. So that was pretty huge. Also in 2-2, I did notice that you didn't. I don't think you died in 2-2, and neither. I don't think you died in 2-1. Well, actually, yeah, you did die in 2-1. 2-1 was actually huge. I saw that one. Now, the 2-1 death was huge because you didn't hit a checkpoint, and the barrel, like you hit a wall with the barrel, so you went all the way back to the start because you didn't hit a checkpoint. And that's something else that needs to be brought up too. Checkpoints in a tournament setting are your friend because you don't know when you're going to die. If you die, it's always good to have those backups ready. Now, if you're like super confident and you're like, yeah, you know, I can do this no problem, then like, you know, maybe go for it. I mean, it's your risk. But if you die, it's huge, you know. But so
yeah, and that death, I was like, well, I don't know what happened, and I didn't grab the checkpoint, and I was like, oh, okay. When I died, I was like, and I got to that checkpoint again, and again I missed it. I was like, no, why? But luckily I didn't die 2 times there, so it was nice.
Yeah, the best thing about it is actually when you died there, believe it or not, the game was even at that point. Like it was, neck and neck because Ghost just got into 2-1 and you died and went back to the start of 2-1. So you two were actually right at the same same time basically. So that was cool. Ghost was kind of slacking behind a little bit in 2-1, I believe. So you got the upper hand pretty much out of 2-1. And then I believe out of 2-2, he was like pretty much a full level behind you. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, so Limo's essentially just got this in the bag. All he's got to do is finish. And then there's the death at the end of 4-2, and then the death at the end of 4-3. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh man, this could be even, This could be evened up. And then Ghost also died at the end of 4-3. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh man, like 4-3 is just hitting both these guys like, super hard. And I've said this in the commentary, but the chase sections are static, like they're not random. You can memorize the layouts and the obstacles that happen in all the chase sections, and so that you don't get hit a single time. So it's really just a matter of memorization. Like if you get hit like once, it's not a big deal. If you get twice, it's kind of a big deal. And if you get it 3 times, of course you die. So that's huge. When you get hit the second time, you gotta be really, really cautious. And it seems like we're gonna get Ghost here in just a second.
Okay.
I see a chat message. It says, why didn't I enter? So funny story is I would have entered, but there was an accident. So just a little background. Like I don't mean to advertise here or whatever, but a little background is that I also speedrun Crash Bandicoot. So I speedrun Crash The Wrath of Cortex on PS2. And when I got the world record in the completion category, which is 106, I did a pop-off where this is going to sound really stupid, but I body slammed the floor onto my elbows, and I messed up both my elbows. So I have difficulties using a D-pad for extended periods of time now because my arms will actually hurt after a while. So I couldn't enter this tournament, unfortunately, because of that. And if I knew that this was going to be happening, I probably wouldn't have done a stupid stunt like that. But regardless, I'm here now. I'm doing commentary. I'm still providing for the tournament, even if it's small. So that's kind of why I couldn't enter this year, which is unfortunate. But thankfully, we have other runners to sort of help fill the gaps here. We've got less than last year, which is unfortunate. We had 7 last year. I think 1 dropped out, and then we have 5 this year. And the winner of this match, which is Limosick, will go on to face what's his name? Optijuegos in winners round 1. So Limo gets to gets to face off against Optijuegos. So Optijuegos, for some more background, is the number 2 any percent player as of right now. Yeah. He is extremely good at the game. I think he actually holds the world record for emulator.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. And GG's Go Senpai, and thank you, Mac Hooper, for the commentary and interview. Thank you so much. I need to go to the second channel. Thank you.
Okay, Limo.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That was Limosick, everybody. He was our winner for today. And what I was trying to say is that Optijuegos is the 2nd place on any percent right now, and currently the world record holder for emulator, because right now the leaderboards for Pepsiman are sort of conjoined with emulator and console. I run on the console, and most of everybody here runs on emulator because the game is very rare. It's not easy to get your hands on a copy of the game, especially because it's a Japanese exclusive. You need a Japanese console or a modded PS2 and a copy of the game to run it on a console. So it's not hard. It's not easy to get, is what I'm saying. So if anyone plays on console, they essentially have to make sure that the game is not running on fast disk speed, which is normally what you'd use to run this game on console because it speeds up the loading times. So anyways, yeah, so Opti is really good at this game. Like I said, he's got the, emulator world record because if we account for loads, I think his loadless time is a little bit better than mine. So we've got that. Oh, I'm sorry. This entire time we've been kind of slacking on Ghost. Ghost, how you feeling?
I think that based on what I've seen during the race, is self-explanatory about how am I feeling.
It's don't feel too bad about it. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I saw what you were saying that you were emulator was dropping inputs, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was dropping a lot of them because it was obvious that in some sections where you suppose that it looked that I was gonna slow down, the game simply decided to refuse the input, or even when I was gonna jump. So that in some way changes a bit my strats because I started to lose a lot of lives because the emulator just simply decided to drop inputs for no reason. It dropped more inputs than usual, and that made me change my safe strat about collecting cans. So instead of waiting until 3-2 to begin connecting lives, I needed to do that from 2-1, and definitely that was in some part something that affected me in the run. Plus, I simply don't know why the game simply decided to be like this all the time, because for example on the bridge on 2-1 I used to dash all the time. I never got hit, but for some reason the emulator simply decided to drop one of my dashing inputs. But in general I don't feel so bad at all. I mean, I'm mad with the game because these things happened, but I feel that there were some good stuff that happened, at least on the first two bosses. I didn't fail. I didn't used to fail there anyways. But what pissed me off a little bit was that on the third boss with the pieces of wood, I never failed there, and I just died there. I simply don't know why. I mean, I understand that on the big Pepsi can at the last stage, I used to fail that sometimes, but I don't used to fail the third one. So I simply don't know what happened there. But hey, at least I got the last section of 4-2 on the first attempt, so that's something real amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I noticed that you messed up the third chase and the fourth chase. Now the fourth chase, that's understandable. The third one, yeah, I saw what happened when you died in the third chase section. You're actually holding up your controller, like you're showing that you're mashing, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I was like, I am jumping game. I'm pressing the cross button to jump. Why didn't jump? I was like that. I wanted to show that on camera at the same time, but at the end, I just needed to deal with this, and that was everything.
Yeah, it was a good thing you actually showed like the controller and everything, because as soon as that happened and I look up at the player cam, I'm like, okay, now that explains everything. The dropped inputs, the dropped jumps, everything. It's because like the emulator just dropping his inputs. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, and also looks like I'm gonna be joining the EPSXC gang, as I'm the only guy using Dock Station. And I know that emulator is really good, but for games like this, definitely is not, due to the dropping inputs. And in the past, I tested the emulator along with Monge, and we have determined like an approximated quantity of time about at which moment the emulator will drop the inputs. And I'm pretty sure I was not on that moment. I was really sure that I was not during that moment where the emulator dropped the inputs. But well, I guess that for my next match, I'm gonna switch my setup, and hopefully that's gonna be a better run than the one that I got here. Even with all the mistakes, I just keep in my mind the idea about, okay, this is bad. It's gonna be hard that I'm gonna win. I'm just gonna try to finish this match. Doesn't matter what happens, and that's what I have done. And I think that with that, I feel comfortable with the results.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't the end, because as you guys know, this is a double elimination bracket, so Ghost may have lost today, but he has a chance to come back through loser's bracket. So the loser of, I think, whoever loses to Atijuegos has to go up against Ghost in loser's bracket. Then the winner of that goes on to face. Let's see here. I don't even have the bracket pulled up. I'm a good host. A very good host. Let me pull this up.
Yeah, well, what I need to say is that I don't feel so bad at all, because most of the problems were emulator issues. But in general, I feel that based on what I have done with all these obstacles, it was decent. I'm not angry or something like that with this. So
It's
it
good.
was really good.
That's a good mentality to have. It's definitely like you can either be like really upset about it, or you can just like take it on the chin and move on with it. Now what I do, I mean, this is what I do personally, but like if, let's say like I'm like losing super badly in this game, and like I'm just thinking to myself like, oh man, I definitely lost. Like, okay, then that's in the moment in my head where I'm thinking, okay, it's time to just take it down a notch and just not take it so seriously, because when you take it a little bit too seriously, it gets into your head, and then you start doing worse because you're thinking to yourself like, oh no, I gotta hurry it up. It's like, no, you gotta just calm down, accept that you made a lot of mistakes, and then just keep going. That's how we gotta think about it. That's how I deal with it personally. I'm not saying it's like everyone's way of coping with it, but I remember there was I believe there was actually a match last year. I don't remember it very well, but I believe there was a match last year that I game overed in, as a matter of fact. And I was like, oh man, like this sucks. I definitely lost because I game overed. Like, it was huge. So I lost that one for sure. It was like a 22 something. But after that, I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, I game overed, so it's like, yeah, it's funny now. It's funny. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just laughing at it. So, yeah. But, anyways, so the loser of the next match. So, is the next match Emilio and Jonathan?
Yep.
Okay. So now this is getting interesting. Okay. So here we go. So, Jonathan last year got really far in the tournament, and I was very surprised that he got that far. Not to say that he's a bad player, but I was very surprised that he got that far.
And now you have got your punishment in your elbows after seeing what happened when you green the wrong game.
Jeez, dude.
That's your punishment. That's your punishment for doing that.
Yeah.
You were not practicing the correct game. You know that this was gonna happen. And what decided you to do? You prefer the extended loading times. So now you need to deal with the consequences.
It's unfortunate. I'll be back. I'll be back soon. Don't worry about it. Once my arms heal up, how about I go back to running Pepsiman? How about that? All right. Will that make you feel better? But anyways, so yeah, the winner of Emilio versus Jonathan will move on to semifinals. Whoever wins that will go up against whoever wins Opti versus Limo. And the loser of Emilio versus Jonathan will go on to face Ghost. Which, I think that's a stacked losers bracket, no matter how you look at it. Like, we're getting a lot of good content here from this bracket, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of good matchups is what I'm trying to say. So Jonathan last year actually had, I think, 2 matches where he played up against Emilio, and one of them was extremely close. Like, it was extremely close. Like, I had a hard time telling like who was gonna win, Like, it was neck and neck the entire time. You know, then like first Emilio would be ahead, then Jonathan was ahead, and then then they're neck and neck, and then suddenly like, oh no, Emilio's like a minute ahead, and then Emilio loses it, and then Jonathan's at like it's stuff like that that I'm really hoping for this year with this tournament. Just those moments where like somebody's really far ahead and then they just lose it, and then like the other person's catching up really fast, and it's like, oh geez, like who's actually gonna win this one? That's the type of stuff that I want to see this year, and hopefully we're gonna get that this year. So again, thanks to everybody for watching this very first 2022 Any% tournament for Pepsiman, organized by our very own Ghost right here in commentary. And hopefully this Saturday is the next match between Emilio Loco 28. It's a tongue twister in Spanish. Emilio Loco 28 in Jonathan Irving's. So that's the next match this Saturday, and I don't know what channel it's going to be on. What channel is it going to be on? Oh, we don't even know yet.
We need to wait. No, for English channels, we need to wait. Most of the time, on the same day or like 24 hours before the match, the channel is assigned. So we need to wait a bit before we can know whether the match is going to take place.
All right. So there are links to follow in case you want to check out the tournament schedule, just in case. And that's going to be it today for me and Ghost, I'm assuming. So thank you guys very much for watching this very first match. Saturday is our next match, and that's going to be crazy. So let's just look forward to that one. So have a good night, guys. And as always, Pepsi for TV game.
Have a Pepsi.
Have a Pepsi.